Hi, I'm Rosh from Energy Matters. Welcome to our podcast, Road to Zero, where we dive headfirst into all things renewable. Join us as we chat with industry experts, tech specialists, and some of your favorite TV and radio personalities, asking the renewable energy questions that you want answers to. Our goal, a zero carbon future. Today, I am super excited to be joined by Avinash Bangaru, Technical and Customer Support Manager for Solis Australia. How you going, Avi? You well?
Very good, Rosh. Yeah, how are you?
I am very well, mate. We had a lot of fun a short while ago filming for the new TV show Energy Matters.
Definitely. Yeah.
You were an absolute superstar, mate. I saw back some of the clips, and you did very well.
Yeah, great. It was my first time, so I don't know how it went. We'll see.
Mate, it has to be a first time for everyone, and you crushed it. So you did very, very well. And the power of television is you can edit. But you did very, very well, mate. So really well done. We'll talk more about the TV show in a little while. So it's a super exciting episode coming up this Saturday at 4 p.m. on 9 Life, and which is featuring obviously Solis Australia. But before we talk about it, I'm keen to find out a little bit more about yourself, the person behind the brand. So can you tell me a little bit more about you?
Yeah. I'm a engineer by qualification. So I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, then the 6-month exchange program at Purdue University in US, and that's when I realized my inclination to renewable energy. And I came back and I said, all right, I wanted to pursue renewable energy as profession. What do I do? So then I hit up on master's degree, and I saw Monash was on the list. So I signed up for the degree at Monash in Australia. Landed here in 2018. Finished my master's and got into the industry. I started with a company called Energy Terrain, who were doing PPAs for commercial customers. I started as an intern with them. I was doing financial modeling and PV system design for them, and worked there about 8 months as contract basis. Then I hooked on to Solis as a long-term and a permanent job. So since 2020, I've been with Solis Inverters. And then I've seen the company grow over the last 5 years. So I'm completing 5 years with Solis already. So it's been a good journey.
You've been there for a while. And how was it studying in the US? Was that fun?
Yeah, it was really fun. And the course, so that was the first time I've ever done a foreign exchange course from India. And I was really hooked on to the alternate energy course that I did there. So that's what started the bug in me that, I want to do renewable energy, and that's where the future is. So it was a pretty good experience there.
Good man. Well, it sounds incredible. And obviously, I've obviously met you before. You're very well educated. You know your stuff. So anyone looking to choose Solis as the inverter of choice for their home, having you up there as a technical and customer support manager, I would have a lot of people be reassured that the man, you know your stuff and you're there on hand. But to be fair, your inverters are so reliable, and they're just really, really good tech. So we'll talk a bit more about those as well. I mean, we'll talk about that now. Actually, I mean, how is Solis actually going? How's business? What you guys up to?
Solis is doing great. We've had a pretty good success in the industry so far, and we're proud that we're celebrating our 20th anniversary this year. So this year actually marks the 20th year that we are in the business making inverters, PV inverters. So it's a milestone.
It's our anniversary as well. So also our 20th anniversary.
Fantastic. So it's a beautiful coincidence, and we're definitely making some change, some progress to the energy industry there. And with our experience making inverters for last 2 decades, we've invested heavily in research and development and perfecting our product and the manufacturing processes. And along the way, we've grown to be the world's third largest inverter manufacturer, globally. And that's put us on a strong position in markets like Europe and United States. And in Australia and New Zealand, we've been operating for the last 15 years. And we're continuously growing our product support and offerings for Australia and New Zealand market. And the future looks exciting as well. For me being at Solis, I can only see upwards and positive trajectory for Solis. So it's pretty exciting, and we have some exciting products lined up. So I would say anybody looking at Solis, it's all summer days ahead.
It's all positive. I mean, what can you tell me a little bit more about the products you've actually got coming up?
Yeah, so like I said, this is the 20th year that we're doing, inverters, and to mark this as a commitment to our, innovation and technology, we are releasing a range of innovative products this year. There'll be energy storage products focused on energy storage. That's our commitment, that we want to go forward with the technology, build hybrid and energy storage products, and we'll be releasing some residential and commercial products. For residential will be the hybrid plus models, where you can connect generators and look at more off-grid solutions, and AC coupled systems where you have existing customers having existing systems can opt to add on a battery and to store that surplus power going back to the grid. And for commercial, we are bringing out some of the industry leading, the class leading 30 kilowatts to 50 kilowatt hybrid storage products. So, and these will be reflect on our commitment for the innovation and driving the industry forward.
You really are ticking every single box. I mean, I want to drill down a little bit on your AC coupled inverters and your hybrid solutions, because they are amazing. And as it happens, we're featuring one of those on this week's television show. So before we talk about this week's TV show, let's just quickly watch a quick highlights package and a bit of a preview as to what's going to be happening this week.
Nicole, this is such an interesting story. You're a renter, yet you've chosen to install solar power. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So our bills have been going up. We thought moving here, a newer house, a newer property, solar hot water, that our bills would actually be going down, but we've noticed that they've just keep on going up. So we definitely wanted to make some changes, and one of those things was exploring solar as a renter.
There you go, mate. So look, absolutely awesome. I mean, I'm, first and foremost, I think that what jumps out at me straight away in terms of this week's episode of Energy Matters, 4 p.m. 9 Life on Saturday, is that, it's a renter that's actually using your product. Ordinarily, you'd see, it's an absolute no-brainer if you're a homeowner and you're actually living in the home that you own, that you'd install solar power. But it's not often you come across someone who's renting a property that's actually thinking, you know what, I'm actually here for the next 5 to 10 years, maybe longer. And I get on with a homeowner. So you know what, I'm just going to install solar power. I mean, what did you, in terms of that particular property, I mean, I suppose what excites you most about the fact you've actually got someone who rents choosing to install your product?
I mean, we've seen this trend going up recently where, because of the upwards going energy prices, the renters are coming forward, looking at the option of getting solar. And even the homeowners and landlords are considering going solar because it's a good value proposition for their properties. It helps them ease out the rental and higher rent yields probably for that. So we've seen uptake of this. I myself, I'm a renter, and I'm also pursuing this option with my landlord at the moment. So there's obviously a trend that's been catching up, and which is realistically a bonus, or it's a positive for everyone, right? And especially in the project or the episode that we've recorded for Energy Matters, it was a great example because the customer is a renter and they wanted to get a solar inverter, but they didn't want to get a battery to start with. So our hybrid product, the S6 hybrid product that we've showcased in this, it's one of the most advanced in our lineups. So we've been doing hybrid products for the last 5 years, and this is the S6 series 6 that we released, and it's a great option for the customer. So you could use the product as a standard grid tie inverter, not connect a battery, but you can choose to connect a battery anytime in the future because the inverter comes with the flexibility and capabilities to integrate with about 30 batteries that we've tested, and we have determined a compatibility list. So you can choose the battery in the future, you can make it work, and we can always do the updates on the software to assist them to update the product with the future batteries. So that gives really a good scope for the customers to invest in the product right now. And as you can add up as you go, you can expand your system as you go. That system specifically that we looked at is a hybrid single phase inverter. One of the standout feature of that product was the backup capacity. So you could be running the backup loads with in case of any grid outages, so unstable grid. We understand how the industry is in Australia, right? So the grid is vast because of the geography of the country. The grid network is not always reliable. You could have some power outages. I'm not saying it's frequent, but when you want to keep running your essential or critical loads. So the hybrid inverter with a battery allows you to cover you for those emergencies. So if there's a grid outage, you could be running your critical loads using the battery. So that's the biggest benefit of the hybrid inverter that we see. And obviously, you're storing any excess PV into the battery. So that it's a win-win situation in terms of cost and also energy independence from the grid.
Oh, absolutely amazing. And look, I had a really good conversation with Nicole, who's renting in that home. And I think from their perspective, I mean, they've got a decent sized solar system to start with. I mean, they just wanted to assess, how much of their current electricity bill they're going to be offsetting with solar during the daytime, because there's a lot of flexibility in that home environment where they're working from, at least 1.5 of them are working from home. The husband works to and from the office, so I know they can use their power, their main things like the washing machine, dishwasher, those sort of things during the daytime to harness the sun. But adding battery storage is something they definitely want to do, and really wants to understand how much they're exporting back into the grid. And I think second to that, given the fact that they've actually chosen to rent this place, and although it's an annual rental agreement like a standard one, they've already got the understanding with the landlord that it'll be a year, rolling contract. So essentially, they could be there for 10 years, right? The kids are all very, very young. School's just over the road, so it makes complete sense. I think the other thing I really love about your product, I think I've mentioned this to you guys several times, I've seen you at various exhibitions, is the fact that you have so much flexibility to choose the battery that you want. Because, with technology historically, you've kind of been very much restricted, by what you can connect to, or is it the same, the battery from the same brand. But with the Solis product, you really have given the flexibility of choice back to the end user, to the consumer, to say, look, install this product, it'll work as a great inverter on its own, but then it has the flexibility to be able to be paired or coupled with any, a wide variety of batteries. When I say wide, like 30 plus is a lot of battery, right? So that's amazing. And then the fact you've actually incorporated inside the technology the backup capability, because you were very kind in your words a second ago, saying, look, you're not saying it happens all the time, mate. I've lived in this house. This is my first home that I've owned, and I've been here now for 6 months. I've had 4 power cuts, 4 blackouts in the last 6 months. One of them was a planned blackout because I had to do some upgrades to the, to the whatever they had to upgrade. But the other 3 were unplanned blackouts, and one lasted for 3 days. So, I can tell you now, it does happen a lot. And I'm not exactly in the sticks. Like, I'm not too far. I'm 5 Ks from the beach. So the reality is, it's something that's going to happen more and more frequently. And especially have crazy wild weather like we're having at the moment, and it's going to get worse. And there's so much pressure on a very, very old grid. The reality is energy independence is an absolute must have for everyone if you can, and having that flexibility of technology that you do have is amazing. Look, we've obviously covered off about the fact that what your product can do, but what would you say differentiates Solis the most from your competitors?
So I think the differentiator for us, it would be our commitment to quality, innovation, and accessibility. I'm being very careful not saying affordability, because I don't want this to be about price, but I want this to be about accessibility to the customer, which also includes accessibility. We understand at Solis, we understand that the inverter, because we've been making inverters, specializing only inverters for the last 20 years. So we understand that the inverter is the heart of any PV system you install. So the customer is not looking at the solar panels or the DC switches or the cables. He doesn't interact with them, and everything comes together at an inverter. So that's the part, that's the product that customer interacts with, and that's the heart of the PV system. And you need that to be working seamlessly, given this outages and unstable grids and extreme weather. for a country like Australia and New Zealand, you can expect these situations, right? So we understand all of those requirements, and we focus heavily on our R&D and research and development, and we build a product, to deliver those exceptional performance that customers come to expect from us. And our founder and CEO, Jimmy, himself is an engineer from UK. So you can see where the focus of the company driven by an engineer would be, like to invest more in R&D and provide a better product, better solution to, to solve a problem to the best of our ability. So we try keep improving our product. So that is one of the differentiator for us, and that in turn leads to our manufacturing processes, which is our hallmark. So we manufacture inverters entirely in our facility in China. We have a 80 gigawatt facility in China, and we manufacture to the global standard. We don't supply to only China or Australia. We supply globally. So we're building products to the global standard, to Europe, Australia, all the other countries. And we offer a wide range of products, like you mentioned. So there's a product in our range to suit every customer demands, like be it residential customer, be it commercial or utility customer, or energy storage product. So we have an option, and we are giving the customer choice or flexibility to choose. We're not forcing their hand. So that's the biggest differentiator that we see in the market, is we are giving the customer choice, and we're basically leading them into the better future, to better technology. And also, we're constantly improving our product based on the feedback that we receive from customers, because we operate with local head offices in every country that we are selling a product. And so we're listening to local customers, local feedback, and improving, tweaking those small changes to the product. Like, for example, Australia, we know Australia is a small portion of our global portfolio, but we still, when we supply the product to Australia, we are custom predefining the settings on inverters to Australian standard that can meet majority of the Australian requirements, like simple as 4777A grid code. So inverters are predefined to it. It's not mentioned on data sheets or in the presentations, but those small things make a huge difference for installers and people who are using it, and for to keep up our compliance is high. So we look at those details, small details, which make an effect. And all our new products that we bring out, you can see they're more lighter, more aesthetically pleasing, and more compact and more efficient, and which are easy for installers to handle, and while delivering the same performance they come to expect over the last 20 years. So, and I think these are the differentiators that separate us from the market, and you'll be able to identify, oh, this is a Solis product because it's backed by this excellent warranty and the support, and the product has been well thought through and designed to function.
I thought I could talk, Avi, but I tell you what, you can give me a run for my money. and the reality is, you've actually just covered off the answers to every other question I was going to ask you as well. So it's really clear to me why a customer should choose to go Solis, from what you've said, and really is that customer focus and commitment to customers. That's amazing. You said earlier that you didn't want the conversation to be about price, but the reality is your inverters are not only a high quality inverter, but also super affordable as well. So really, that paired up with, the panels of a customer's choice, really does result in an absolutely fantastic solar power system. I mean, one final question I have for you, Avi, is, what advice would you have for anyone who installed solar like over 10 years ago? And, the equipment back then, as we know, I mean, you guys were still around 15 years ago, so some of your inverters are there too. But really, they've got an older solar system. It's not really, performing like it was, or it has, if the panels are doing really, really well, but they haven't got a battery. What would be your recommendation?
Yeah, I mean, you raise a good point. So we do have some customers using our existing, the DB inverters, where back in 2005, 2010. We still have some customers reach out to us saying, hey, my inverter is now stopped working, or, it's come up with an alarm. Can you look into it? So we have those customers. And I think that's one of the key points that we want to put out in the market, that we've been making this product all this while. And when the customer is out looking for product, is one of the questions you raised earlier, is what does customer look, why should customer choose Solis, kind of thing. We've been making the product for almost 2 decades now, 20 years now. Only inverters, focused on inverters. We have product in the local market, standing 15 years and going strong. And we have local technical support who can provide technical support if you need any help, training for installers. We're there to help and support. And it's backed by the industry leading warranties. And the new product that we're selling right now, they come with a 10 years product warranty and or up to 110 kilowatt inverters. So we offer everything that the customer will be looking critically, and we offer them, again, we are accessible to them. So we're at an affordable price range. So saying this, I would link to your new question, which is what would I advise the customers having inverted 10 years, 15 years ago? So first of all, I would like to thank them because they are the early adopters, and it's their choice that has driven the industry forward towards the right direction in going and focusing on energy independency and efficiency and sustainability. So kudos to them. And now if they're wanting to expand their PV systems, or they want to add batteries to get more benefit out of the system, it's the right time. There's a lot of product available in the market, and also Solis have got really good options to cater for every requirement. Let's say if a customer has just a PV and it's working, but he just wants to upgrade the inverter to a bigger capacity, or his inverter's gone bad and he wants to replace it. So yes, we can stand over replace with a hybrid product, choose to add a battery or not, just like this customer did. You can install it as a grid tie inverter and then choose to add a battery immediately or in the near future. Or if the customer existing PV is working, then we have an AC coupled solution. So you can just get an AC coupled inverter, keep your existing PV running, and you can add the AC coupled inverter, just add a battery. So you're storing the surplus energy into the battery and you're using during the nighttime. If the customer is based in rural areas, where there's grid outages, then they can go with a hybrid product, install a hybrid inverter, add a battery, store excess PV, surplus PV into the battery, and depend on the backup to sustain when there's grid outages, right? So we have options, and customers have options to choose at this time. So it will be a really good time for them to add up. And if they want to expand the system, we do have Hybrid Plus series where you can add multiple inverters in AC multiple inverters in parallel configurations. So you can actually grow your system to 48 kilowatt capacity. So which is, if you have an EV or something, the customers, again, they're early adopters, they tried technology out. Now it's proven technology, right? It's no more early adopters and early technology. It's proven technology.
Those early adopters are driving Teslas right now, mate, and they probably were on a waiting list for electric vehicles. So fair call. And I share your sentiment as well. I mean, Energy Matters started off in 2005, similar to yourselves in Australia, and it's just absolutely awesome to see how many people jumped on the solar bandwagon nice and early. And if you consider we're only at 30% right now of rooftops covered with solar, and this is after, for us, 20 years. It's surprising that it's not 95% of available roofs, but you know what? It takes someone who really cares about our cares about the planet to jump on the bandwagons early. As well as someone who loves technology and just really wants to see the latest innovation and get the energy independence. But yeah, it's absolutely awesome. Mate, we are out of time, so I'll have to love you and leave you. But thank you so much for jumping on today. You've been absolutely epic. You know your stuff, Avi. I can tell you that much. So we're going to have to definitely jump onto another conversation another time. And for now, everyone, look, make sure you check out Avi and Solis this week on Energy Matters. It premieres at 4 p.m. on 9 Live. So this Saturday, it's going to be an absolutely incredible and awesome episode. Mate, thank you so much for joining me, Avi. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rosh. And we just want to take an opportunity to thank Energy Matters because we believe Energy Matters has been always a medium that's taking latest innovative technology and in solar to the customers and educating the Australian household. So it's a really great platform for us to work with you on this. And all the best to Energy Matters. And we try and make sure we're bringing good technology to the customers.
No, thank you, mate. I appreciate it. And look, you're an absolute legend. So we'll definitely be working together again soon, Avi. I can tell you that much.
All right.
So, guys, you heard it here first. This week on Energy Matters, Solis will be showing how their technology is actually used in a rental environment, which will be absolutely amazing. Make sure you tune in and watch it. We can't wait to see you. See you next time.